And we are recording with Tony Mahre over at Intercap Home Loans. How you doing, man?
Great. How are you guys doing?
I'm good. I think I said that wrong. It's not Intercap Home Loans. It's Intercap Lending, right?
Intercap Lending.
There you go. My bad. Tony, I'm so stoked to have you on today. Man, we've talked about doing this video. I've worked with you for, I don't know how many years, a long time. And I'm pretty sure that you've helped me up both my skiing game and my fly fishing game, along with helping people get ready to qualify for home. So I'm stoked to have you on, man.
Hey, thanks for having me. Actually, I think it's been about 10 years since you started the company. Whenever
Crazy.
that was.
Yeah, it's
maybe 5
it's
years.
almost been 10 years. It's freaking me out that it's been that long.
Yeah.
To say the least. But I will say, man, we've helped a lot of people together. And one thing that I've always been intrigued by is your kind of work-life mix. I mean, you have this lifestyle, you ski, you fly fish. Every time I talk to you, you're doing something awesome, and my envy level just goes up to here. But you also, you provide an amazing customer experience, and you help a lot of people get into a position to buy a home. And so I just, normally I've got a bunch of questions prepared for our guests, but I've only got one for you today, which is, what are some tips that you have for those who are looking to mix their lifestyle and work life?
Hey, that's a good question. First of all, let me preface this by saying I'm fortunate that I have family that's grown up, and my wife and I are somewhat empty nesters. So
there you go.
A lot of people around me have families. They've got soccer practice. They got dance lessons. I'm fortunate to have a couple dogs at home that are pretty low maintenance. So my lifestyle already got a little simpler when the kids got out of college. But
yeah.
That's a great question. I came to Utah 26 or 27 years ago with in the back of my mind knowing I liked the country, and this had everything. Had all the ingredients of a place that I wanted to live, primarily skiing, the Big and Little Cottonwood Canyon. And of course, we know it's a great state. There's a lot to do, and we're close to a lot of stuff in the middle of the Intermountain West. I decided really quick that if I want to do this lifestyle, I got to work when I work and play really hard. It's real simple, Alex.
I like that. Work when you work and play really hard.
There's a lot of people that show up, and they spend a lot of time staring at the computer, or I'm not professing to have the greatest work ethic, but I've learned that you can get an awful lot done in a really short amount of time if you focus on getting your job done. In a business like mine, it's not necessarily a 9-to-5 business. In the lending world, someone like yourself or the people up the road that are getting ready to buy a house and they're working 2 jobs or whatever it is, have family, Saturday mornings, sometimes a Sunday, sometimes 7 o'clock at night is when you do business.
Mm-hmm.
And if a guy can get his plan in shape and watch the weather a lot, which is pretty key when you're an outdoorsman, you work when you work. When you go to work, you get your tasks in order. I think that goes with just about anybody in self-employed or out there generating business, is to make it count when you're there.
I love it, man. That's probably one of the hardest things that I deal with when training new sales professionals. With our company, we really like training on a sales platform that is based on non-traditional sales techniques.
Right.
High discovery, high intent, really quality-based conversations. But in sales, there are periods of time where, the phone's not ringing, or, you've got an appointment in 2 hours, but, you're kind of slacking off, you're kind of tired. It's hard to train people to work when you work, when you're or when you're office, you have to have those systems. You have to have that mentality to get it done, because those are the people who are able to, in my opinion, maximize their production, but yet still relatively keep a normal stress level, right?
Absolutely.
So that's what I've seen a lot. That's why I love that quote so much.
Well, I think I don't like to use the word burnout, but I've seen people go really, really, really hard. And in a sales type business, things do ebb and flow. And I'm not the guy that reads all the books and and goes back and tries to reinvent things. But I think we get so caught up in one moment that we got to remember in our world that we still got to look ahead. So caught up with what's happening right now. 2 or 3 weeks from now, it's like, oh, during that time I was being really caught up in the now. Oh, I forgot what was going to happen next month. Mm-hmm. And that's something that is always in the back of our minds, and that's something I struggle with. We get busy, we work real hard at what we got going, and we forget about those phone calls, or we tend to get lazy and say, oh, I should have stayed in the office a couple more hours, or I should have went to work on Saturday morning and made a few more phone calls. And that's something I encourage anybody trying to balance that activity. I love my lifestyle. I love what I do, but I'm my own worst enemy. I am my own worst enemy because I've got myself to answer for.
Yeah.
Like I said, the balance has to, you got to have all the wheels, the spokes of the wheel there, not just one or two. So.
Dude, you know, you're speaking to somebody who's a consistent burnout, not in the marijuana sense, but more so in the work sense.
Right.
You know, I used to feel guilty when I traveled. You know, I got married last year, went on a honeymoon, 2 weeks in Spain. It was fantastic. But, you know, before I left for that trip, I didn't want to feel guilty that I was gone. I didn't want to feel like, man, I'm you know, creating problems. And so for me, one thing that I really have tried to work on is trying to create an environment where the work that I'm doing actually can set me up to go out and travel, to go have that time off.
Absolutely.
You know, that's been a game changer.
Another key thing, you got to like what you do also.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta like what you do. There's a lot of people out there doing pretty successful and they hate what they do. And I don't know, I'm not that guy. If I'd probably have to stop doing this if I didn't like what I do anymore.
Yeah.
I can't pay the bills up at the end of the canyon, nor can I on the river. So I like what I do, and I'm passionate about what I do. And I think we talk about our lifestyle. A lot of things people do in lifestyle, whatever your activities are. For example, it could be bowling or baseball or the book club or the ladies in book club. A good portion of a huge portion of my business comes indirectly from the connections, the contacts, and the activities that I do and the people I do them with. And I think people, at the end of the day, I think people want to do business with people like themselves. Mm-hmm. I could be wrong on that. They want to do business with people they like, number one, and they want to do business. And that level of trust, I think, shines through when you're doing business with someone that you spend time with, or someone that you know, or that your friends have done business with. It's the good old referral thing. You do a good job. You use the platinum rule. Treat people as they want to be treated. Yeah. And by doing all these activities all the time with these people, it puts you in a really good environment to say, hey, I think I can trust that guy. I'd like to do business with them. And the company's got a good reputation. That always helps as well.
Tony, you are the absolute best. I've hesitated asking how many turns you get in each year and all that kind of stuff. But I will say, if you're looking for somebody to talk shop with, whether it's skiing or fishing, Tony's your guy. But Tony, thanks so much for doing this with me.
Welcome. Thanks for the kind words. Have a good one.
Thanks, man.